Good evening, our beloved viewers. It's 9 p.m. You are watching on live RTD channel. Welcome to this English election campaign news. With 6 days to go before the presidential election scheduled on Friday, the independent candidate Zakaria Ismail Farah had an appointment in Demerjog to meet his militant. Let's see together these magazines.
The independent candidate Zakaria Ismail Farah was due to meet his supporters in Tamarjok on Friday 6 days before the presidential election. Again, it should be noted that his meeting did not take place as our RTD team in charge of the social media coverage of his meetings found out. The only meetings organized by the independent candidate at the very beginning of the electoral campaign. Arta hosted the first meeting of the independent candidate Zakaria Ismail Farah on March 26, 2021, who took the initiative to run for the presidential elections. The only candidate running as an independent in the 9th April presidential elections. It was with this election that the public in general and that of Arta in particular discovered him. This did not prevent the crowd from showing enthusiasm for the first day of the election, which they consider to be a symbolic and even historic. The independent candidate Mr. Zakaria took the floor at the podium to present his program and specially emphasized the mission that animates him, an action that he wishes to undertake for a more promising social momentum. He mentioned several points such as the reasons why he decided to run, his campaign program, and the political situation in the country. An intervention marked by applause and calls from some chanting Zakaria for president. Zakaria, who has put the valorization of the citizen at the heart of his campaign program, in his own words, the majority of citizens are neglected and live from day to day, which is essentially what his campaign is all about. These messages were also repeated during the meeting in Humbuli, the district where he was born and where he took the first steps as a schoolboy. It is in his natural environment that he went to ask for support. Some people present on the side, especially the older ones, recognized this child of the neighborhood to whom they assured of all their support toward the electoral process. Traditional dances and songs were played and the crowd rocked to the rhythm of the songs that the independent candidate shared, an exception for Zakaria, who had the chance to grow up with all the communities that make up this area. The candidate Zakaria declared himself proud and honored for such a mobilization and support. Verdict on 9th of April.
And as we told you previously, the meeting of the independent candidate Zakaria Ismail Farah that should have been held this Sunday morning in Demerjog in the Arta region did not take place as we have been doing for a few days now. Let's find the images dedicated to the high point of his first two meetings.
dadku waa dayaro dalaadhi xoogliyo diiqad weeye noloshuye qaarbay duruufu dugsiyada tacliimaha ay dib uga reebeen uun daawa loo helin qaarbay duruufu dugsiyada tacliimaha ay dib uga reebeen uun daawa loo helin hadday ku doortaan maxa ku diyaaro dadka ahaadu haysaa haysaa
daayin baan ku dhaartay anigoo daacada waan idin dadaalgeli dhallinyarada dacihiyo dikadaha fadhiya iyo dumarkiyo carruurtii duqajida dhammaanteed doolar baanu qorayaa tacliintana si dooran u daryeeli doonaa daayin baan ku dhaartay anigoo daacada waan idin dadaalgeli dhallinyarada dacihiyo dikadaha fadhiya iyo dumarkiyo carruurtii duqajida dhammaanteed doolar baanu qorayaa tacliintana si dooran u daryeeli doonaa
mar hadduu wakhtiga daran uu noo damqadayo darayada difaacayn oo doog la wada heli deeqimatay weeye doobiro uu footeeya doobiro mar hadduu wakhtiga daran uu noo damqadayo darayada difaacayn oo doog
حيلة أمتي فنحدينة رسول أمتي طفولة حيلة أمتي فنحدينة نسيت بريتو يبدأ بنا فوحة ما تتلم الرهد حل ودورة النور أتيوتها مرحلتها محمد سوسي ودورة النور أتيوتها مرحلتها محمد سوسي إذا بينك ميتا يا عويتك رسوئك فوحة بس سويتك نعمة غبالوك تيا عويتك إنك الدينو ليه تدلي سويتك ننقوعك النو كوري بسنو ننقوعك النو كوري بسنو عدا وركت أسبوع برتا عدا وركت أسبوع برتا إذا بينك ميتا يا عويتك رسوئك فوحة بس سويتك نعمة غبالوك تيا عويتك إنك الدينو ليه تدلي سويتك ننقوعك النو كوري بسنو ننقوعك النو كوري بسنو عدا وركت أسبوع برتا عدا وركت أسبوع برتا مسوينا بيو بسمى الحفر رسول تدلي سنو سيو يكونو نبها يكونو أرو يكونو إدولا يكونو كنا سكدنو تايس بريتك أرحسنو دولتني إنك بدلنو يمدد لمنكي تهدى بسنو دولتني إنك بدلنو يمدد لمنكي تهدى بسنو إذا بينك ميتا يا عويتك رسوئك فوحة بس سويتك نعمة غبالوك تيا عويتك إنك الدينو ليه تدلي سويتك ننقوعك النو كوري بسنو ننقوعك النو كوري بسنو عدا وركت أسبوع برتا عدا وركت أسبوع برتا bashiisu wayteeg nicmad ribaadhoog dayaacu wayteeg.
Moving on to the north of the region, the presidential campaign in Tajura, the management campaign of the White City went successively to Mebla, a region of the east of Tajura, and to the village of Dai. The population of Mebla and Dai was strongly mobilized to welcome in joy and gladness the campaign delegation led by the coordinator Muhammad Barkhad and his deputy, the parliamentarian Suma Hamid, in the presence of several parliamentarians and the president of the council, Umar Hussein. The campaign director of the region, Muhammad, thanked the people of Mabla and Dai for the warm welcome. He was pleased with the strong mobilization to support the UMP candidate, His Excellency Ismail Margili, and the strong mobilization of the inhabitants of this locality at the big meeting in Arta to show the big meeting in Mablab their unwavering support to the outgoing president, His Excellency Ismail Margile. He recalled on the UMP activists to vote massively for the candidate and the outgoing president on 9 April 2021. One slogan for the people of Mabla and Dai for all, let us elect our champion IUG 2021. And now in Obokh region, the regional coordinator, Mr. Qasim Harun, accompanied by a dynamic team, took his pilgrim staff to sensitize the voter on the whole region after a very successful campaign in the sub-prefecture of Aleilu, located at the border of Obokh. Campaign management headed to the sub-prefecture of Gorangar, located at the border of the region. After a very successful campaign in the sub-prefecture of Aleilu, located at the border of Obokh, and the IUG 2021 Obokh campaign management headed the sub-prefecture. The proximity meeting were held successfully with the youth notable and women of Mulhule and Gorangar size locality, very much taken by its fishing and tourist wealth. Gorangar and Mulhule, two localities not far from the tourist island of Rasian, and the magnificent beach possess development assets thanks to the asset to the sea, an important asset for the regional economy according to Qasim Harun. Some grievances and requirements were made by the population of the two localities, which were well noted by the main coordinator Qasim Harun. And now, meeting with the women of Obokh. The women of Obokh renewed their confidence in IUG. The delegation led by the campaign coordinator of Obokh UMP candidate, Mr. Qasim Harun, was warmly welcomed at the headquarters of the UNFD, and women responded en masse to the call. After a brief presentation of the objective of the meeting and the women leaders of the dynamic president of UNFD, Ms. Fatuma Ahmed, the parliamentarians of the region, and Ms. Fatuma Ahmed emphasized the urgency and importance of the withdrawal of voter cards a few days before the election. The coordinator, Mr. Harun Mr. Qasim Harun highlighted the achievement of IG of the First Lady President of UNFD in favor of women in general and those of Obor in particular. The women are at the heart of the President IG's policy. Recall Qasim Harun, the Djiboutian women are to have president like His Excellency Ismail Margele, who has placed the rights of the woman at the forefront of his road map. He added. And now the population of the Merjuk in Arta region are willing to vote massively for the founding father of the Arta region, the UMP candidate and outgoing president, His Excellency Ismail Margili. Like the population of Arta region, the population of the Merjuk was determined to vote for its champion and the outgoing president, His Excellency Ismail Margele, on 9 April 2021, so that he will continue to complete the major development project underway and to come in this sector. They said, I'm very happy to see that the people of the Merjog have a firm intention to vote for their champion and the outgoing president on 9 April so that he can continue to complete the development project that he undertakes, said the minister. Conclusion of the proximity meeting organized by the campaign management of the region of Arta, led by the young campaign manager Mr. Abdullah Usman Darar and his assistant Aisha Muhammad Abdullah, in the presence of the member of parliamentarians including Umar Waberi Malo, elected official of the manager of the region of Arta. The UMP candidate campaign coordinator of Ali Sabih region, led by its leader Umar Ahmed Wais, went to the sub-prefecture Asamo for a proximity meeting. The delegation of the Union for the Presidential Majority of Ali Sabih was warmly welcomed by the militants in a effervescent atmosphere. The delegation was then seated at the podium surrounding by the crowds wearing a green t-shirts, caps and shirt. In addition, musical songs and cultural dances. The crowd composed of activists from the surrounding areas. The delegation was placed with the warm welcome. They receive and appreciate the enthusiasm of the crowd that poured into their meeting place. Then a planned in the program speech followed to play the action accomplished by the UMP candidate during his previous mandate and his perspective for the future.
himilooyinkaagii haddii aad ka tegi iyagoo bannoo hadhay yaad nagu hallaynaabo ood nagu hallaynaabo yaad nagu hallaynaabo ood nagu hallaynaabo makuwa nahodaye shisheeyow hayaamee ay hadalka dhigibaan yaad nagu hallaynaabo hadda nagu hallaynaabo yaad nagu hallaynaabo hadda nagu
And now in Dikhil, the UMP coordinator of the campaign, led by its leader Ali Umar Wais and his deputy Ali Hamadou, went early in the morning to the sub-prefecture of Mulud of Yobaki. They were accompanied by the minister and parliamentarians of the region and the president of the regional council. The delegation of the union for the presidential majority of Dikhil was warmly welcomed by the militants in a great day. The delegation was welcomed warmly by the militants. Then they took their seats on the platform surrounded by the crowd wearing a green t-shirt and cultural dances and composed of militants coming from the surrounding areas and localities such as Galafi and Halle, Agna and Gurabus. The delegation was delighted with the warm welcome they receive and appreciate the enthusiasm of the crowd that turned the meeting place. Then, as planned in the program, the speeches followed one another to play the action accomplished by the favorite candidate UMP during his previous mandate and his future project. Finally, they assured the public that the construction of high schools and the large medical center will be complete soon, and other projects are underway. On this war, they urge the public to attend massively the big meeting that will be held on Saturday, April 3 in the municipal stadium of Dekhil, and the illustrate to renew their confidence on unconditionally support to the favorite candidate UMP and the outgoing president, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. And to finish this edition, the region of Dekhil went with the campaign coordinator led by its leader Ali Omar Wais is conducting activities in the all sub-prefecture of the Unity region after Asaila, Yubaki, and it was the turn of Mulud. The town of Mulud hosted an important proximity meeting in the presence of the minister and parliamentarians from the Unity region. The delegation of the Union for the presidential majority of Mulud of Dekhil was warmly welcomed by the militants of Mulud in effervescent atmosphere.
دخل باقى بيهانتو قرد ذي لخيديو قبلي ركيدي با قبلنا بدا كوديغي قعم وذا جيري قلو كوسو دويه قعم وذا جيري قلو كوسو دويه.
This is it for this election campaign news. Thank you for being with us and have a good evening.